Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we are doing an individual reading for 10. And in this video we're going to check his current energy, his career, any love messages, and any healing messages that go through. Now I want to say that I just ate a stew, so I am digesting and all of my energy is kind of going into digesting that food. So I don't know how energetic I will be by the end of this reading. Despite of tense energy, I will probably be very tired and kind of sluggish. And I just wanted to, warn you about that. Because, yeah. So, with all of that said, I have the setup a little bit different. But if this is the first time you come and watch my videos, hello, welcome to the channel. I hope you enjoyed the reading. So with all of that said, thank you for everyone that's going to watch this video. Let's jump into 10's current energy. So what is 10 currently going through, I guess? How is he right now? So it seems like he's good. The first card that I saw was the 9 of Cups. So he's feeling great. We have the 3 of Wands and the 6 of Cups reversed. I have to organize them first. So with the 9 of Cups, it's a card about feeling emotionally fulfilled, feeling pretty content, pretty happy, everything's working out, everything is going according to plan. Okay, not according to plan in the sense of like a practical earthy type of way. This is like just feeling fulfilled, feeling very satisfied that things are working out, maybe a wish coming true. So it seems like 10 right now feels very good about something. I don't know what yet, but he seems to be very happy about it. We also have the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is the energy of someone that is getting like external help. To me, the 3 of Wands is a business card. It's a card that talks about it's a good time to sign contracts. It's a good time to negotiate. It is a good time to start any business partnerships that could be like in the making, I guess. I don't really know how to express that word. So yeah. But I do have to express that it feels like if there's any business opportunity happening for 10, the ideal thing will be to like start making those partnerships with new people, because the 6 of Cups, which we have right here, is usually about past relationships coming into the present time. It's people from the past coming forward, or it could be someone that you could have had past lives with. So I do feel that with 10, this energy could mean one of two things. Since it's reversed, we usually have like the opposite meaning, or it could be, it really depends on the rest of the cards surrounding it. So with the other cards that we have so far, it feels like it's the energy of it will be ideal for 10 to start having contracts and start negotiating and making business with people, with new people that he's meeting, or people that are barely entering his life. So no one from the past. Or this is the other thing that is kind of like a little bit out there, is that that it will be ideal for him to start making contracts or working with people that he knows from past lives. Now I kind of say it that way because I'm pretty sure that not everyone remembers who they've known in past lives. So that's why I was like, that one's like a little bit out there. Let's see, what else do we have? We have 2 cups, so that's a lot of water energy. So I do feel that as long as 10 follows his intuition and does what his gut feeling is kind of telling him to do, that will be very ideal, because that will definitely help him in finding like the right path for him and what's ideal for him. But yeah, with this 3 of Wands, is like he's waiting for those opportunities to start surfacing, for those opportunities that he can take. But it feels like it's a very good energy regardless. So right now, he seems to be very happy. He feels, you know how we have the baby right here with this woman? It's kind of like the energy of like birthing an idea, right? A new project, a new idea. But it's like the gift of life. So he seems like he is pretty content and happy right now, which that's good. Let's see what else is going on with 10 right now. The other card that we have is the 4 of Wands. So, but it's a 4 of Wands reversed. So even though there's a lot of opportunities, it doesn't necessarily mean he feels fully stable, or he doesn't feel like it's concrete business. Like it's still on the air. It's still not like there's chances, opportunities, and could happen, could be's and what ifs still up in the air. So it's not like fully set on stone. It's still it's still in the progress. There's still like things that have to be done, things that have to be settled down before he can start seeing the fruits of his labor. You know, the fruition of his hard work. um, so yeah, it feels like it's not completely stable because the Four of Wands is about stability. It could be home, celebration, weddings, but since I do feel that it's leaning more towards business, it's like action cannot be taken to have his career move forward in a like straightforward direction. It's still up in the air. It's still like the energies are still shifting for what his dreams, for whatever his dreams are to come true. The sentence I structured kind of weird. So yeah, so the fact that the Four of Wands is reversed is kind of telling me that it's not completely stable. It's still not fully grounded. There's still work that has to be done. So yeah, what else is going on? We have the Princess of Cups, which is Pisces energy. What else? We have the Seven of Wands reversed and the Five of Swords reversed. So all of these ones are reversed. So let's see what this is all about. So we have the Princess of Cups reversed, which is Pisces energy. So, oh, I kind of forgot about that. So if I'm correct, 10 is a Pisces. So this could be a symbol of him. Not necessarily though. It could just be an energy. But also this Princess of Cups, usually when you see, because it's supposed to represent the Knight of Cups in regular tarot. Usually the Knight of Cups is seen as the person that is going to confess their love, and I haven't really thought of that meaning for the Knight of Cups in a very long time, or maybe I haven't gotten the Knight of Cups in such a long time that I don't even realize. So I don't know, it kind of jumped up, like it kind of was highlighted to me right now that I'm thinking of like the possible meanings that the Knight of Cups has and which one applies to 10's reading. So yeah, I don't think this card is necessarily talking about love, but it could be a hint as to something that we will further discuss when we get to his love life. So yeah, with his Princess of Cups, it feels like, now talking about his current energy, it feels like this card kind of applies to his discipline, his hard work, and the way that he handles his routine. I'm getting that kind of energy. I'm saying that because we have the Seven of Wands, which talks about fears, but it's reversed, so we'll discuss that in a little bit. And then we have the Five of Swords, and this Five of Swords, the way that it's drawn and illustrated in this specific deck, kind of feels like having the discipline or drawing the line or having proper boundaries or something along those lines. But it's weird, because I usually don't have the meaning for the Five of Swords, but the way that it's described here, well, not described, is the visuals that are depicting the meaning of this card has made me interpret it in that way. So I feel like this is important. I'm just kind of like beating around the bush. Like I haven't gotten to the point yet. I don't know what that point is, because I feel like this is something that 10 kind of struggles with or is currently struggling with. I just haven't really figured it out yet. I might take out more cards to figure this out, but let's try to break this apart one card at a time. So I do feel that this Princess of Cups is talking about him. It's supposed to be about his energy. It's him. It feels like it's his energy right now. So it feels that maybe he feels like he lacks the creativity, or he may lack the intuition to do something, or he may feel like he's lacking the forward motion and the adaptability that a Pisces usually has, because Pisces is a water sign, so it talks about spirituality, emotions, intuition, and creativity, especially when you talk about cups. And then Pisces is a mutable sign, so mutable signs are signs that are very good at just adapting to change. They're very good at just adjusting to whatever is going on. So they're able to constantly change and transform themselves accordingly to whatever situation they're in. So I do feel that he may be struggling with that right now, being able to adapt to those changes. Now, the Seven of Wands usually talks about fears and illusions that could cause someone to feel like they have to protect themselves, that they have to be in this energy of constantly fighting, right? But the fact that it's reversed, you'll think, oh, it's the opposite meaning. No, in this case, I do feel that it's reinforcing that message of being in that fear type of energy, you know, being so afraid of something that you kind of blind yourself to not see what it is that you're afraid of, because you're like, no, I should not be afraid of that, or oh no, that's not true, I'm not afraid of that, you know, kind of like some negligence, some sort of like blinding yourself or lying to yourself type of energy. So I do feel that with 10, the 7 of Wands is supposed to represent an energy of denying something that he may seem as weak, or something that he doesn't want to dwell too much in or dig too deep in. So it feels like there is something that he's definitely kind of turning a blind eye to. I'm not too sure what it is. I don't know if it's an external issue, and because he's turning a blind eye to it, he's causing some like difficulties to his person, or it is an internal issue that he is ignoring or doesn't really want to look too deep into, and because of that it is affecting his energy. But we have the other card. This other card is the 5 of Swords, and the 5 of Swords is supposed to talk about mental conflict. It's about, it could be like, okay, let me be completely honest. Usually with a 5 of Swords, I kind of get blocked. Like, I automatically get blocked when I see this card. And but what I mean by that is, like, I can't really, even though I know what it means, or the imagery that is usually put for the 5 of Swords, I always feel like I don't have the right word for what it means, or like it's never satisfying. So that's what I mean by, like, I kind of blocked myself with it. But in intense reading this time, it feels like very clear that it's talking about setting boundaries and like fighting, or like having some sort of like verbal argument and discussion that is supposed to have cleared boundaries, or it caused some sort of having to create boundaries because of some sort of argument. So I feel that this could be if we're going towards that meaning, it could be reinforcing that 10 is currently having an external issue that created some sort of argument, and that created an environment that is affecting his personality, not personality, but like his current energy. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. The other thing that I kind of wanted to say with this 5 of Swords is that just because there was an issue at one point, it doesn't mean that it's fully solved. And I'm saying that because let's say you have an argument with someone, but the problem didn't get fully discussed, and the problem is still there. So there's still like further discussions and further arguments that could happen in the future. So I do feel like that's kind of like a warning. I feel like I'm just saying a bunch of things and it still doesn't make sense. Like, it'll make sense, but it's not making sense to me right now. There's also this sense of that maybe what I'm getting is that someone could have overstepped their boundaries, in a sense that 10 had to like push them back and be like, no, I don't want to talk about that, or you know how I feel about that, so you know, don't even come for me. You know, that kind of energy. So something out there must have pissed him off. So let's see, what else is going on with 10. We have Temperance reverse. So yeah, whatever happened really threw him off his center. It's something that really caused him to be out of balance, out of harmony, because Temperance is all about patience, and also to be in harmony is a Sagittarius card. So this is definitely like that higher knowledge. It's definitely that energy of further exploration and expansion. That's Sagittarius in combination with the meaning of Jupiter, which is its ruling planet. I'm talking about astrology too much. Maybe 10 is interested in astrology, and if not, I don't know. Maybe that's important. Anyway, but with this Temperance card, it's supposed to be like there is guidance for him. He's divinely protected, and there's always going to be like his spiritual team is always there for him. It's always there to give him that higher perspective that he may need or whatever. However, with this Temperance reverse, I do feel that he feels really out of whack. He may feel like he's out of balance, and you know, there's this disharmony going on that is throwing him off his balance. Because the Temperance card is supposed to be a woman that has one cup filled with water and the other one is on the ground. Sorry. um, so what I mean by that is that it's supposed to represent the balance between the spiritual and the physical world. It's supposed to be a balance of the 5D and the 3D. It's supposed to be a balance between two worlds, basically. So that's kind of what I'm getting at. That whatever happened physically, it's throwing him off balance, and it's like a big deal. So with this Temperance card, since it's a major arcana card, it kind of shows that some temporary issues, so like that argument that could have gone on, that is kind of throwing Ten out of his center, out of his grounding point, is something that had to happen. If I feel like a domino effect is about to happen, so like that one little event that happened in his life is gonna be something that is going to come stumbling down, and it's supposed to be very important to his growth in this lifetime. So I don't really know what that growth is necessarily, but it's supposed to help him go in the direction that has to be gone through. Yeah, we have the sun, so it's supposed to help, which is another major kind of card. It's supposed to help him feel a little bit more confident, a lot happier, a lot more positive. So like, okay, sometimes it happens that life puts us in situations that are very difficult and are very stressful, and there's a lot of pressure, but it's supposed to be like when you have a diamond, right? Before diamonds are created, it's under a lot of pressure to then become like this shining beautiful gem. So I do feel that that's kind of where he's going at right now. He's going through those difficult moments to be able to free himself out of that stressful moment and then shine as bright as possible within his own energy with the knowledge that he has gathered because of those difficulties. But I do feel that this is like an internal breakthrough type of thing, because we have cups and wands, and we don't really have pentacles, so that means that it's not like material things that will have to be done. This is definitely like maybe a change of mentality that will help the way that he's going to take action in the future. That could be what's going on. Can't see any more current energy for 10's reading. Yeah, we have justice, so it's definitely to help him be balanced, because justice is a Libra card. It's about balance, it's about having justice, of course, being fair. And this one is number 8, but I usually see justice being number 11, so it's supposed to be finding individual balance, because when you add 11, you have 1 plus 1, which is a 2, which is all about balance, more balance. And yeah, but also with its justice card, it feels like there is this sense of full clarity, especially with how the imagery is used here. It feels like it's finally being able to see things clearly, even though he's blindfolded. It feels like it's being able to have the right judgment about a situation or about a certain idea or something within his life. So whatever is going on, it's supposed to help 10 have a better sense of judgment and being able to be like, oh, are these people right for me? Is this situation right for me? Is this the right steps to take forward? So this is supposed to help him balance out a better sense of reasoning, a better sense of judgment. It's supposed to help him. So anything else for 10's current energy? Oh yeah. So we have the 5 of Wands, we have the Prince of Pentacles, and the 8 of Swords. Okay. So there's definitely a lot of energy about, like, I'm if the Devil comes up, I hope I remember to talk about this, because this is important. So we have the 8. When I was talking about the 7 of Wands, I was, for whatever reason, getting a very familiar meaning to what the 8 of Swords is. The 8 of Swords is an energy of someone that is under the illusion that they're trapped. But this is a mental illusion. Like, what I mean by mental illusion is that the person at question is not actually trapped. There's no physical limitation. There's, like, no one's getting on their way. The only person getting on their way, so in this case, the only thing that's holding 10 back is 10. So he may feel like that there's restrictions, and this could be restrictions of any sort. Like, he has the idea of like, oh, I have to do things a certain way, and that's not how it works. Then he's limiting himself. That's a mental blockage. What is it called when you're manifesting something? Sometimes people address this type of mentality as limiting beliefs. So that's what he could be going through. Like, he wants to expand, he wants to become greater, he wants to grow and do all of these things, but he's limiting himself with his way of thinking, or his way of, this is how things should be. And we have this 5 of Wands, and 5 of Wands is definitely about conflict. It could be physical fighting, But in this case, I do feel that there's going to be a lot of battles that Ten will have to fight to overcome such mental limitations. So there's a lot of things that he's going to definitely hold himself back from, and it will create a lot of conflict. And 5 is a number of change. And we have it right here, we have it right here. So there's a lot of changes that will go through his, through his intellect, his reasoning, his judgment, and there's going to be a lot of changes that will then be passed down into his actions. He's going to act differently. If he continues limiting himself and all of that, then it will affect his 3D perspective about things. Why am I saying that? Because he has the Prince of Pentacles, and in this deck it's supposed to be representing the Page of Pentacles, which is the baby energy. Out of all the court cards, the pages are the beginning of the beginning journey. So in this case is like the birth of a material project. So I do feel that it shows that in this moment of difficulty, in this moment of like a mental battle that is affecting how he's taking physical action, there will be a project that he will start working on. So this material new project could be in relation to his career. It could just be like finally something that he wanted to do is finally becoming true, and it can be manageable. Like, let's say, he has like the money for it, because Pentacles could be about money, or he has the financial support basically for whatever project he wants, or now he has the physical ability to do something. So let's say he wanted to make a new music video, then okay, now he has the ideas that could be put into it, now he has the props needed for it and the cameras for it and all of that. So that's kind of like, now you have the material things necessary to make this project happen. So I do feel that during this moment of conflict, a new opportunity could rise, and the birth of a material project could be in the horizon. But I do feel that it will be coming through a moment of a lot of difficulties. So I do feel that 10 is the type of person that can definitely work under a lot of stress. For example, he's an artist, right? Duh. So he's an artist, so he strikes me as the type of person that likes to perform and likes to do that type of art. And since he enjoys it so much, they can be under a lot of more stress and a lot more pressure because it's something they enjoy. If you're doing something that you don't like and you're under it all the time, then yeah, it's easier to break under so much stress because you don't like it, you're not enjoying it, so you're not passionate about it, you don't have a motivation or even inspiration to stay within that stressful environment. But if you do like it and you do enjoy it and you feel very fulfilled doing that, which it seems like he does because he has a 9 of Cups, then he can handle a little bit more stress, he can handle a little bit more pressure. So I do feel that despite all of this transformation that 10 is currently going on, he can still do a lot very well for himself in his career. And I do think this Page of Pentacles is kind of showing that what we're seeing right now is still like barely scratching the surface of his potential as an artist. I do feel that this could be talking about his career, but let's jump into his career to see if that is the case. What are the general energies in 10's career? Oh, that one. Lizard. We have fire, a fire animal right here. Very balanced with all the colors that we have. We have the octopus, very hardworking, having a lot of things going on at the same time. And zebra and fire ant. Okay. So, the energies that we have so far is the lizard, which the lizard is the energy of someone that has a very good time being in alignment. I'm saying that because of the colors that we have right now. It also is a fire animal, so it's kind of like I'm getting speed, so doing things quickly, walking forward. Like, I don't know why I'm getting just the image of a lizard walking forward very quickly, so I'm guessing that's kind of what he's doing right now. In his career, he's just sprinting through things, just laser focus, going in one direction, focusing on doing only like one thing. I also feel that since we have fire, it's the element of just taking action. We do have 3 cards that have the fire symbol, which is a triangle pointing up. That is the fire symbol, so he's definitely just taking action, just getting the work done, filled with passion and motivation. So in his career, he's also doing pretty great so far. But we also have the octopus, and we see that it has like all the colors of the chakra on the head of the octopus, so he's definitely very in alignment, at least energy wise. Even though we saw that there were some difficulties in his current energy, it still feels like it's an external problem that hasn't reached the point of like affecting him too bad. So yeah, with that octopus, I'm getting like, you know how the octopus has like 8 arms, I mean 8 tentacles, so it's like, you know, doing a bunch of things at once. So it does feel like it's like a hard working energy. So I do feel that sometimes right now 10 is being successful in his career because one of the things that he's doing is that he's putting himself in his bubble. So even though things are not going as planned, or things in maybe his environment is a little bit chaotic right now, he's doing a very good job at just keeping to himself and isolating himself and keeping his mind in complete solitude, which is helping him see things clearly. That's kind of what I'm getting with this octopus, which is a water sign, as we have the triangle pointing down and it's surrounded by darkness. So I do feel that he's in that solitude, maybe doing some shadow work as well, like why am I getting mad, why are things not working out, what am I afraid of. So he's kind of like doing the work, you know, that it's needed for his growth, and he seems to be able to do that despite being super busy in his physical 3D world. We also have the zebra, which to me is also with the triangle on the third eye position of the zebra. I do feel that, again, this sense of boundaries, his boundaries are very well set, and because he has that very well developed, it will help him be able to say, okay, that external issue is not my problem. That is outside of my control. It's not something I want to deal with because it got nothing to do with me, basically. You know, he seems to be having that energy. So that's why, even though it's maybe a conflict that has bleed into his career, it is definitely something that he's not super bothered with, because he's working hard to make sure it doesn't throw him off center. He's working very hard to make sure he can continue staying grounded. He's making sure it's not affecting his cool mind for his work. And I wanted to mention this whole thing about pieces. Okay, before I do that, the boundaries. So this zebra card, for those of you that watch my channel, already know that to me the zebra means like seeing everything very black and white, being able to see things as they are, being able to, you know, we have the lines like this, and the zebra is a striped animal. It really feels like it's the energy of someone that is able to be like organize things and be like, okay, this goes here, this goes there, okay, this personality is for this mentality is for this other thing. So someone that is very cold-minded, very practical, very Capricorn, Virgo-ish type of energy. That's kind of what I'm getting with this, like being able at setting boundaries very, very well. But now talking about the pieces, which I wanted to talk about, was the fire ant and the octopus. To me, it feels like putting different pieces together or working on different pieces all at once. Because to me, the fire ant has always been like shattered, like a shattered glass or like a shattered vase. To me, the fire ant is a card that symbolizes someone putting themselves back together. It's a card of many pieces coming together to work in unison, or work for something a lot bigger than themselves, because that's what ants tend to do. You know, they work together for their colony. So I do feel that this could be in the sense of like 10 is being part of a bigger plan Spirit may have for him in his career, or he is all the pieces of 10. I don't know how it sounds kind of weird, but you know, like all the parts that make 10 the person that he is are all working together for the future of his career. That's kind of what I'm getting with all the energies right here with these cards. So let's see what else there is. I'll leave you right there. Let's see what else is going on with 10's career. Oh, okay, well done. Listen to me. So we have the Angel of Punishment, and then we have the Angel of Silence. So I wanted to put this Angel of Silence right here, right next to the octopus, because I do feel that, to me, the Angel of Silence is supposed to be like within solitude, within, I was gonna say within loneliness. Okay, no, it ain't that bad. But within solitude, you're able to see things a lot clearer, because you're able to clear the clutter, you know, get rid of all of that baggage and all of that mental stifling energy. And yeah, with this Angel of Punishment, I'm also getting like, there's this sense of, I'm getting karma. So like, if there's something that's bothering 10 and it's out of his control, karma will deal with it, and he's okay with that. Like, he's okay with being like, okay, I ain't dealing with this boo poopy life, you take care of it. But, he's very good at being able to say, like, this is not my problem, let me walk away. Or, he's very good at that. And that is definitely going to be beneficial, because that will allow him to be in a calmer state of mind. It will allow him to be a lot better in the sense of he's not taking in the baggage of external problems and making that hold him back, or make him weigh him down in a way that will be problematic or counterproductive to his career. So whatever issue is at hand, he's very good at just dealing with it and being like, he's very good at setting those boundaries. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So let's see what energies are also going around with 10's career. We have Sagittarius, expansion, which is what we saw in his current energy. What about his career? Oh, wow. Okay, I was like, the cards are behaving so well. Okay, so we have Saturn and Sagittarius. So we have a planet that's working with his career, and then we have a sign on how that's happening. So there's lessons that 10 has to learn, as we have with the Saturn energy. And the way that Saturn is working with him is by helping him expand his mind. It's helping him expand his way of dealing with problems and how he's taking action with those problems. So Saturn is a planet of restriction and limitations, right? So with it's very clear to me. So it's kind of like, and then Sagittarius is like a card about freedom and expansion and always growing. It could be in an intellectual way, or it could be like traveling across the world and all of that. Saturn is also a planet about time. So I do feel that through time, there will be a lot of limitations that are going to pressure 10 to eventually break free out of those, which will be a lot more self-explanatory. We had Aquarius right here, or Uranus, but we don't have that, so we're gonna push those cards away, and we're gonna talk about Sagittarius. So it does feel that the way that life is going to, the things that are going to go in 10's career is that he's going to expand. He may travel abroad, or he may be traveling a lot more often now because of his career, which I mean, duh. Based on the career that he has, he already kind of travels a lot. So, tell me something that's new, right? The other thing that I'm also getting is that the Sagittarius energy is someone that is very, very focused, which is something that we kind of saw with that lizard. So there's also nothing new there. The Saturn energy is just kind of telling us that 10 is going to be going through a period with a lot of limitations. So a lot of things holding him back, a lot of difficult transformative periods he's going to go through, because Saturn is a planet of, as I mentioned, a lot of limitations. It's, Papa Saturn is kind of difficult to deal with. He's the one that is always telling us, okay, so if you didn't have, A, B, C, and D, what will you do? How will you deal with that, right? But we also have to keep this in mind. Saturn, even though it could feel like it's it could feel like Saturn is like a very punishing planet, it ain't that bad, It's also a planet that is like, okay, little Timmy, well, in this case it's 10. It's like, 10, you have learned your lesson, you have impressed me with how well you have done within the limitations I've put, within the time that I gave you, within the, kind of being like, under the conditions that I've put you under, and under the difficulties I've put you under, and the challenges you have overcome, and the obstacles you have dealt with. I have to tell you, 10, I will reward you with all of these beautiful gifts, and I will give to you everything I took away. I have never looked at 10's chart, so I don't know where his Saturn would be. It depends on what house. That's when we will know in what area of his life that energy is affecting him. But I've ranted enough. Let me continue with something else. Let's go with something more tangible. Okay, so what's going on with 10's career? Oh gosh. I'll take these 3 cards. These ones are gonna go back. I was like, I don't want that many cards. What's going on? So we have South Node, don't let your past hold you back. We have Full Moon in Cancer, a personal issue reaches resolution. And we have Blue Moon, believe in yourself. So these cards are kind of saying, you know what's funny? When I saw the octopus, I was thinking of Cancer, because I was like setting boundaries and, being in solitude and kind of working on himself. Yeah, I'm kind of getting that in his career there's this Cancer energy, so nurturing, growth, and taking care of himself. So self-care is going to be very important for 10 right now, to so like that he can like reestablish himself and grow within his career. There's a lot of new knowledge he's going to learn, learning from foreigners. That's a very big thing. Well, he is a foreigner in Korea, so I guess he's always surrounded by foreigners technically. But yeah, Sagittarius is also about like having those foreigners come in and like learning from foreign people, or learning about foreign countries, or expanding your mind and learning more about the world. So I do feel that in his career that's kind of what he's doing, or if he does that, it will be very beneficial for him. So with believing the impossible, I do feel that life is kind of be like, Sagittarius is an optimistic card, so I do feel that life is kind of encouraging 10 to be very optimistic about his career. Things are going to start looking up, but then with that Saturn card, it's like, it's going to come kind of slowly, and it's going to come with a lot of challenges, so it's nothing new. He just needs to know that it's going to take its time to happen. The only thing that I do feel is important to talk about is that don't let your past hold you back. This is a South node, so whatever past baggage 10 has, he has to work through that. So continue in that octopus energy of self-development and self-growth. I do feel that this South node energy is all talking about things, baggage that he's carrying from past lives specifically. So this is the things that it's like on like instinctual things that happen. So let's say like unrational fears that he has, and he has no explanation as to how he got those fears, or why he has them, or why why is he afraid of that. So how we had the 7 of Wands reversed in his current energy, it's kind of leaning towards that type of meaning. Those like there's a lot of fears that he may be denying himself of and trying not to look at them and kind of neglecting, because he may be like, okay, I have no reason to be afraid of that. But if he were to explore why he's afraid of the things that he's afraid of, then he will be able to break free of the limitations that he may have. And I guess in his career, since we're talking about his career right now. So there's a lot of things that may be holding him back. So he has to do some, have some communication with himself, as we have all the blue right here. And then that will help him unlock all the baggage that he has in his heart. This is not necessarily a mental thing. This is something that he's carrying in his heart. So it's something that his soul could have gone through in past lives, and he just kind of has to, go through that and be like, okay, why am I afraid of this? Okay. And sometimes he will not have the answer as to why he's afraid of it, but he should be conscious that he is, and then work through that and be like, okay, I know I'm afraid of this. I don't know why, but I know I am afraid of it. So how do we work through that? How can we overcome it? That kind of feeling. So now let's finish off his career. Oh my god. So what's going on with 10's career? We have the Page of Cups, a message on emotional stuff. What's going on with 10's career? We have the 6 of Wands. Oh god. What's going on with 10's career? We have the Ace of Swords. That's great. And the 10 of Pentacles. Okay. Okay. So I'm debating if I should put them somewhere else. So with this Page of Cups and this 6 of Wands reverse, I do feel that if 10 doesn't figure out the emotional things going on and it goes through his intuition to try and feel his way around the things that are holding him back, he will have a very difficult time in feeling successful. Not being successful, but feeling successful. I do feel that this is definitely leaning more towards a perspective thing rather than a objective thing. So what I mean by that is that he 10 can be very successful in his career, but if he doesn't heal like the emotional wounds that he's going through, then he will always feel like not satisfied. He will always feel like he's lacking something, or that he's not good enough, or that he's not worth the things that are happening to him, or he may not be able to celebrate the little successes in his life, and that could hinder a little bit his ability to do his creative projects, or he may overwork himself because of that. So I do feel like, because the 6 of Wands is all about success and it's reversed, I do feel that if he doesn't work through like those emotional messages of like, you're afraid of this, you're scared of this, you are sad about this is something you're struggling with, if he doesn't like pay attention to those things, they will start like piling up and building up like this wall where he can't see past it anymore, and he will not realize that his insatisfaction is not within his career, but it's actually within himself. You know what I mean? So I do feel that's kind of what, like, a warning of sorts, or like that's something that could happen, is like, if you don't do your healing, it doesn't matter how successful you are doing physically, you will not see it, even though it's there. And I'm saying that also because we have the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is someone that is successful. It could be definitely economic and financial success, but it could also be whatever project he's physically working on that is successful, right? This Ten of Pentacles is also, to me, the energy of generational heritage or generational lineage of sorts. So I do feel that it's kind of showing that whatever success he will go through could be passed down through to his offspring. I don't know why that kind of came through. So maybe he will help if he wants to have kids, or whoever he sees as his apprentice of sorts. They will be successful as well because of the knowledge that Ten will carry and pass down to them. So I don't know, if Ten wants to have kids, then his kids, but if he doesn't want to have kids, then whoever he passes down his knowledge to, them, he's gonna help them. But also this, now what I said good was this Ace of Swords. So yesterday I was actually doing a little bit more in-depth research about tarot, and the card that I started with was the Ace of Swords, and I was doing my research about what it means when you have the Ace of Swords reversed. So usually the Ace of Swords could mean some sort of breakthrough, some sort of success, some sort of epiphany that's going through. But when you have it reversed, it's kind of like that is kind of blocked, so you may not be able to see things clearly, and because of that you can't have that epiphany, you can't have that moment of, oh, it all makes sense, even though you're getting all of this knowledge and all of these good vibes and all of this good energy for success and being able to start this new project. Is like 10 is not quite there yet. So putting these two cards together, it feels like whatever project 10 wants to work on in his career, it will definitely be successful. It definitely will. And that's kind of what I got with the Six of Wands. He will be successful, he just won't see it. But with this Ace of Swords, it also feels like he's not mentally there yet. Like, he may lack the communication skills or the intellect to make it happen, or he may lack the sufficient information to make it possible, like physically possible and tangible, right? So it does feel that this Ace of Swords is kind of saying like he's not there yet, but the results will be success, will be money, will be recognition, will be fame, if that's whatever he's looking for in making this project happen. It's going to succeed, it's going to work out, he will be mission accomplished, yay. But with this Ace of Swords, it's like he doesn't have enough information, or he's mentally overwhelmed in such a way that he can't have a clear mind and clear judgment to make it happen, which I'm starting to remember that he had Justice, and he had Temperance reversed, and he had the Five of Swords reversed. So I'm getting like those energies of he is currently not in the clearest of minds to be able to see clearly what has to be done, or he's overanalyzing something, or he's too busy worrying about something that's filling up the space that could actually be filled up with spiritual, I guess, messages, or like, you know, those gut feelings, or those epiphanies, or those, or you know, knowledge from the higher realms coming down to him and be like, you want to succeed? This is the answer, right? Not necessarily the physical thing to do to be successful, but at least the energy for success, if that makes sense. So with all that said, let's go on to his love life and see what's going on there. I had to like go whoosh with his career, because I was like, whoa. It felt like everything that we kind of saw in his current energy just continued into his career. I do feel like there's some sort of shift going on right now that we're entering his love life. So what's going on with 10's love life? We have Mercury, communication, and we have Virgo. Guess what? Mercury rules Virgo and Gemini. So yeah, I think that's important. That's important to mention. So it seems like I can't really say much as to what's happening in Ten's career. Oh my god. We left behind his career. It's time to talk about love. So with this Mercury, it feels like communication is going around in his love life. Maybe he's meeting people. Maybe he's organizing himself to start talking to people, or he's having some sort of, what is it called, blind dates maybe. Because Virgo is a sign. It's an Earth sign. It's also a sign about being organized, routine, healing, and service. I don't know why I thought about that. Okay, let's think about it this way. When you have Mercury in Virgo, let's talk about that. So it feels like in Ten's love life, he could be someone that is very straightforward. Because I see Virgos as someone that tend to be like no bullshit type of people, right? They're like the type of person that they can be very dry about things. You know, they say things how they see it because they just want to be very clear about that, which is something that I usually think of when I think of Aries, not necessarily Virgo, but that's kind of the energy that I'm getting right now. You know, being able to just think very clearly and say, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, I am playing around, or I am playing around, so that's what I'm looking for. You know, I do feel that Ten is very good at just kind of saying what he's thinking. He's also very good at organizing his thoughts, and he's very good at communicating what he's thinking of because of that organization that he has. He seems to be also someone that talks that in his love life, or at least yeah, okay, in his love life, he may be someone that is very good at giving advice to people. You know, he's someone that likes to be of service to his partners, or, you know, wants to make sure that he has someone that, you know, so his love language could be, you know, reaffirming words. Is that the word I'm looking for? I do not know. And also, you know, acts of service. He could be that type of person, you know, someone that does a lot of nice things for their partner, well, for his partner, or saying a lot of nice things to his partner, right? So 10 strikes me as doing something like that, right? Based on the Mercury Virgo. And I'm kind of getting dizzy, so maybe I should get my ideas aligned. So I was kind of laughing a little bit because one of the things that I saw was when, you know, 10 seems like such a cool person. There was like a fan sign or something, and the fan was kind of like telling him about some partner they were with, and how, you know, kind of like, you know, when you're gossiping with your girls, and, you know, one of them is like, so my partner, he be doing this shit, and then, you know, you as a friend, you go like, leave that guy. I think that's how Ten's reaction was, like, oh, and he didn't contact you in how long? Oh no, don't even bother, leave him, let him go, you know. And I couldn't help but be like, you know what, 10 feels like such a normal person. Of course he's human, of course he's a person, but I was like, I want to gossip with 10. I want to know what the juicy details are. I want him to also be like, leave that man, even though I don't have a man to leave. But you know what I mean. Right? Well, that kind of took us that turn. But let's focus about 10. This ain't about me. So, let's see. So, 10's love life. We have full moon in Aries, a fiery climax. So, maybe potential love coming through, potentially. What's going on with 10's love life? We have North Node. Step out of your comfort zone. So maybe someone is going to be a Knight of Cups and just confess. Maybe him. Like maybe 10's confessing to someone, or someone's coming to confess to him, is like confess to him and be like, 10, be my partner. I don't know actually. Okay, what's going on with 10's love life? Let's get serious here. Like, it's destiny. It's destiny that whoever is going to be approaching 10 in his love life is going to be very straightforward, very passionate, very motivated, and very like, okay, this is what I want. What do you want? Very honest and straightforward, very direct, because that's how, you know, that's how Aries are, you know, very straightforward, to the point. And it's kind of like, you know, I want it, I get it. That's the type of energy that Aries has. So what's going on with 10's love life? Give me more. Hold up. Okay, what's going on with 10's love life? We want more cards. More cards. More cards. None of them are jumping out. What's going on with 10? Love life. We have full moon in Scorpio. It's time to release negativity. So remember how intense current energy, there was a lot of like stress and fears going through. Maybe he needs to also do that if he wants his love life to work. With that release negativity and the Scorpio energy, his walls are all up. He has his defenses and high security on like around himself, and because of that, he may find it kind of difficult to find a partner. He may find it kind of difficult to start off his to launch his love life as if it was some sort of project. So yeah, there's a lot of purple, so there's a lot of like intuitive, like it's unconscious holding back. Like he's subconsciously holding himself back. He's putting the walls up and people can feel it even if they don't know about it. So that may, I guess he could be intimidating in a way. Or he may be constantly pushing people away so they don't get too close to him in his love life. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with the Scorpio energy. And they're both full moons, so fiery climax is gonna end very soon. So it's gonna be like a quick flame. It just goes that sounded like sound traveling. And with this full moon in Scorpio, it's like ending a cycle of of negativity, and that's why release negativity. That's the advice that this card is giving, right? So full moons are at the end of cycles, Also, I guess traditional astrology, I don't know how to call it, but back in the day, Aries and Scorpio were both ruled by Mars, and Mars is a planet about taking action, your drive, your motivation, and it's a planet about sets as well. So that could be a thing as well. Straightforward, passionate with Aries, and then highly sexual, active-ish card with Scorpio. Yeah. Well, let's move on. Just putting that out there. So, what else is going on with 10's love life? Am I gonna get another rabbit? if you saw Jenna's video, you know what I'm talking about. And the answer is no. I don't have those cards, so I'm not gonna get that rabbit at least. So what else is going on with 10's love life? We have the crown, spirituality. So definitely what? Definitely having some sort of emotional connection with whoever his partner is going to be. We have no emptiness, so this kind of goes with like the angel of silence and the octopus. Like he definitely has to be in silence and on his own in complete solitude, so that he can hear himself clearer, so he can hear his thoughts, so he can talk to himself, so he can get rid of distractions and fears and anything like that, and he can readjust and focus his energy on one thing. I do feel like he kind of has to do that with his love life. And also we have the triangle pointing down. Well, this is a pyramid pointing down, and that's still the water symbol, I think. So we also have the angel of annihilation, and then we have the right hand empathy. So it seems like 10 wants a partner that will give him peace of mind, that will help him just center himself, be at peace, be centered, be calm and in harmony. He wants to be with someone that is a fighter for sure, and someone that doesn't hold back. So I do feel that that's definitely what we're getting here with that Scorpio Aries energy. Someone that's definitely not going to hold back. Very direct, forward, boundaries very well set, but it feels like, and very good communication. When you have someone that's very straightforward, you don't have to figure out the in-betweens or read between the lines, because the person's straightforward. And I do feel that 10 kind of wants that, someone that again, no bullshit. Just straightforward, not making it overly flowery and stuff. Just get to the point. That's kind of how he feels. That's not what's being told of me. They're not like, get to the point. I can mumble all I want. And empathy. So it does feel like 10 also wants a partner that is going to be very nice, very understanding, very caring, and very careful. And that's kind of like what I was getting with the Virgo card of healing and service. So I think 10 will be a partner that will have a lot of time of oh, how's it going? How are you doing? How do you feel? And being a good listener. And he also wants that in return. And I think he fully deserves that. If he's that type of partner, he should be aiming to get someone that can do the same for him. You know, equal give and take. Let's see what's going on with 10's love life. We have Page of Pentacles. A lot of pages. A lot of beginnings. Oh, it's 10's love life. We have the Three of Wands. Oh, and the Hermit reverse. Okay, I just want one card to clarify the Hermit. Why is the Hermit reverse? Why is the Hermit... Why is the Hermit reverse? Come on. Okay, whatever. No wonder. It don't make sense. Okay. So, Hermit, you're gonna have to wait. So we have the Page. The Page of Pentacles kind of tells me that 10 doesn't really, like, he's still, like, you know, he's still baby mode. He's still, like, baby energy. He's still, like, figuring out his financial situation. He's still figuring out his, like, standing, his earthly standings. Like, what the fuck? What is that wording about? You know, his 3D situation. Let's just put it out there. Like, he's still figuring out. So what I mean by that is that it could be his career, it could be his money, it could be his success, it could be his work, it could be material possessions as well. So that Page of Pentacles tells me that he still feels like the Page of Pentacles. So I do feel that there's a growth that he has to go through to have what his love life is, if you want to put it that way. So okay, especially because we have the Three of Wands, and I already told you how I feel about the Three of Wands. It's about business. So the fact that they're both, like, right next to each other, it kind of feels like 10 is still focusing so much on his career that there's not much time for love, or he hasn't really thought much about it, or if he has, not necessarily thought about it in terms of how do I take action towards it, even though there's definitely someone that will be like, hey, and then, you know, we got the qualities that he wants in a partner and the type of, you know, love language that he has. So yeah, I haven't really gotten anything of, like, this is what's going on, or, like, this is what's going to happen in his love life. I'm just kind of getting advice of, like, if you want to get that kicking and running, then this is what you gotta do. That's kind of what I'm getting. But yeah, I do feel that in his love life, it's gonna start picking up when he has everything well established for his career, or he will meet someone very important for, you know, as what I mean, like, a romantic partner. He'll meet them through his work, and it doesn't necessarily mean that he will work with this individual. It just means that he just met this person through his work. So it could literally be anyone. Yeah. Oh my god, you know what I got? And it's gonna be someone that's gonna, like, sneak up on him. Okay, I don't mean that in a creepy way. I do not. I mean it in the way of, like, it's gonna be an individual that just kind of comes out of nowhere. Like, he was not looking for this person. He was not expecting love to knock on his door. It's gonna be someone that just kind of stands in front of him and is like, I'm an option. And then 10 will be like, oh, what? You're what? What's going on? So I do feel it's gonna be someone that's gonna pop out of nowhere, that out of nowhere will get his attention, and out of nowhere is gonna be like, hey, wanna be my romantic partner? And it's up to 10. Does he want it? Does he not want it? It's up to him. But now we have the Hermit. So this is the real tea. Oh, that's kidding. So the Hermit, it's supposed to represent Virgo energy once again, but this is more the energy of having to look for that inner wisdom, finding your inner light, finding that motivation again, right? Going in solitude. What? There's this big thing with 10, solitude and growth, okay? So yeah. The Hermit is a card about being in solitude to try to figure out your own path. It's a moment of isolation and solitude, so you're able to figure out your, you know, grow and work on yourself. This is supposed to be focused on you, work on yourself. So be on your own, basically. But with the Hermit reverse, I do feel that it's kind of like, if he wants his love life to work out, it will have to happen after he's done with his healing, right? So when he gets out of the Hermit mode, which is usually being in isolation. And I'm saying when he's done with his healing because we have Temperance reversed once again, but this is in a different deck, right? This is this one. The other mega one. Anyway, so this Temperance reverse is kind of telling me like, remember what you interpreted in his current energy? Yeah, that message. So, that, what cards did he had? I just remember the Sun at the end, because that was a good card. It was the Five of Swords reversed, the Seven of Wands reversed, and another card. It was the Princess of Cups reversed. I always leave the cards that I use to the side in case I need to reference them. And I haven't done that in a while, so hey, that was useful. So Temperance. So it's kind of like going through a period of like when 10 finally stabilizes his energy, when he finally goes in harmony, and when he finally is balanced again, that's his cue to get out of the hermit mode, and then he may find love. But we also have to keep in mind that because of all the difficulties that 10 is going through, we have the 10 of Wands. His guard is up. His defenses are out the roof. So remember the high security thing that I was talking about? Yeah, that's why his walls are up. His walls are up because there's still a lot of other external energies that are getting on his way, and those are the obstacles that he's trying to put out. And when you put those walls, yeah, they're protecting you, but then it also makes it very hard to... Did my phone turn off? So I got some tea of my own right now. I was recording and I've been talking for so long that my phone literally ran out of battery. It died on me, and I was over here like I had to stop for a minute. No, and I had to check that it did record after charging my phone for a little bit, and when I noticed, it seems like only around a minute or so is missing of visual footage. And let me be completely honest with you guys. You guys technically didn't miss out on too much visually, because the cards, I didn't move them. No new cards came out in 1 minute. But the audio's there, so you guys should be able to hear what I said. And you guys will probably hear my voice trailing off as I'm looking at my phone like, did it just turn off? So that's what just happened. And I think it's very funny because it turned off during the period where I was talking about, 10 has high security, his walls are up, and all of that. So do you need more synchronization than that? I don't know. So what happened is that my sister came through and she was like, I'm gonna give you my phone battery. So we both have the same phone model, so that's why we can just swap it. Her phone was a little bit more, her battery's a little bit more charged than mine, so yeah. She was the one that was like, since you have been doing some NCT members, you should probably do 10. And I'm like, yeah, you're right, I will. Of course I will do 10, right? But she was like, you know what? I'll work an extra shift to edit that video. So do 10. And I was like, okay. So that's why you're getting 10 on this beautiful day that you're getting this video. So yeah, we love 10 in this household. And that's why we are doing everything we can to make this video happen. I just find it so funny. Anyway, I literally have no clue what I was talking about. I forgot because of all the panic I just went through. But yeah, 9 of Wands, putting your walls up. That's literally it. We saw to the extent of what his walls could be up, right? Anyway, I'll put that to the side. One of the things that I noticed as I was panicking was this Knight of Wands. This Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy. So travel, movement, change, and wands. So taking action towards that change. So I do feel that when 10 embodies this Sagittarius type of energy, then he will definitely be a little bit more balanced, and that will definitely help him be out of the hermit mode and find some progress in his love life. I had to make sure it was recording. I'm kind of scared now. Anyway, so it's the Knight energy is kind of going from baby energy to teenager energy. So he's slowly growing and figuring out, getting more knowledge and getting resources and stuff to figure out what is the best way of taking action. That's usually what the Knight of Wands means. But yeah, again, the Knight of Wands is Sagittarius energy, and it's a consistent sign that we have been seeing. We saw it in his career. We definitely saw it in his current energy, and Temperance is also a Sagittarius card, so there is a lot of Sagittarius energy going on in 10's reading, which if we look at his natal chart, maybe that will explain as to why he has a lot of Sagittarius energy going on. But since we don't know that, well, I don't know that, maybe you guys do, but I don't know, then there's a high chance that it's just talking about the Sagittarius type of energy, you know, being open-minded, being optimistic, being willing to take action for its, you know, to expand the mind and expand your, you know, your range. You know, Sagittarius is the energy of someone that changes and grows and develops because they're expanding and learning new things, doing new things, going into adventures, finding freedom, getting that wisdom, you know, going from knowledge to wisdom. That is usually what Sagittarius means. So I am feeling that with 10, he needs to get a little bit more balance between his 5D and his 3D, or his material and spiritual world. That's kind of what I'm getting. That's a very highlighted message for 10. But woof, after all that scare, let's go into his last section, which is his healing messages. Bro, 10's over here just scaring me. He's just like, your phone? Dead. So, and healing messages for 10. He literally, oh, never mind. He got the last card of this deck, which is the Wombat Spirit, Be at Home. And the other card that he has is Sandpiper Spirit, Be Playful. So, yeah, life is kind of encouraging him to just have fun. I think it's because he's already doing what he's passionate about, but life wants 10 to continue doing what makes him happy, because it feels like 10 is a very hardworking person, but when he's having fun and enjoying his time is when he meets the right people, is when he's in the right energy, is when he feels like, is when he's the most receptive. That's kind of what I got. So that's when he is able to just connect to his deeper side, to his spiritual side, and that's why life is kind of encouraging him to be playful and do things that make him, you know, have fun and all of that. And with the Be at Home, that's where the stability comes in, because he had the 4 of Wands reversed in his current energy. So I do feel that life is like, hey, why don't you continue finding that stability? You know, find it within yourself. This is not home in a sense of like get a house. It's home as in like finding peace and harmony within himself, and then he will feel at home, which kind of brings me back to the full moon in Cancer that we got in his career, I believe it was, which Cancer is what I connect to the 4th house, because Cancer is the ruler of my 4th house, which is all about home and domestic life. So yeah, and family as well. So yeah, he may find a lot of comfort within his family or with whoever he deems as family. That is people he can definitely rely on and just have fun with and just enjoy his time to center himself again. That's kind of what I'm getting with those 2 cards. More healing messages for 10. So we have Be Peace, and we have Overcome Any Obstacle. So with the Dove Spirit and the Rhino Spirit, it feels like life is kind of telling, you know, it's kind of encouraging 10 to, he will feel at peace when he feels centered, grounded, and at home. So he definitely has to do what satisfies him, what makes him feel comfortable, whatever makes him happy, because that will make it easier for 10 to figure out what's like the right thing to do for himself and what is the thing that works for him. Also with the Rhino Spirit, is like when 10 is in a good energetic energy, it will make it a lot easier to overcome any obstacle, because then 10 doesn't get in his own way. It's kind of like getting rid of the 7 of Wands, getting rid of the 8 of Swords. It's getting rid of that energy that blinds him and stops him. It's kind of like, you know, when you're so okay, I don't know about some people, but there's some people that when they get scared, they kind of get paralyzed because of how much, you know, how much fear they're feeling. So I do feel that with him it's kind of like the same thing. When there's something that he's kind of neglecting and something that he's pushing back, and that begins to holding him down and weighing him down because of how much baggage he's carrying with him. So life is kind of encouraging him to be happy, because that will allow him to figure out what makes him feel at peace and balance, and that then will help him figure out how to overcome any obstacles, because he's able to see things a lot clearer than he thinks. So, you know, just barging through any problem. The other cards that we have is the Crow Spirit, which is perfect. To me, the Crow Spirit has a very special meaning because it's one of my spirit animals, and the crow spirit is supposed to be an animal that guides you through all the dark periods of your life. And when I mean dark, I mean like unknowns, things that you're afraid of, but mainly things that you are unaware of, things that you don't know about, things that you know, new paths and unexplored adventures, that type of energy. So to me, the crow is supposed to be, I mean, it says co-create with spirit, so you know, work with 10 has to work with his spirit guides and his angels and you know, that divine power to help him figure out what the next steps are for him. So to me, the crow spirit is an animal that guides you when you can't see clearly, or it guides you through, you know, darkness. And darkness is just the absence of light. It's not anything bad. So the crow is a very intelligent bird. It's very smart and is very elegant. I don't know why I thought that was important to say, but it's supposed to be, I don't know what other people see the crow as, but I don't really have a very bad, like, I'm like, yeah, they sound kind of scary, but it's fine. I will hear crows every time I was going to school, but yeah, enough about me. This ain't about me. This is about 10. So this crow spirit is kind of encouraging 10 to be in his solitude, to be on his own, so that he can hear that gut instinct, that intuitive message that tells him, you know, this is right for you. You know, I'm not too sure about this one, or you probably shouldn't do this because that's not what you're looking for. So, you know, that's the crow spirit kind of guiding him through those times that 10 will be like, oh, I don't know what to do, or I want something like this, but I don't know how to get it, or I don't know how to get there, right? So it's kind of like, it's a guiding animal that is supposed to support him. The crow spirit is just kind of encouraging 10 to feel free to ask for help when he needs it, when he needs a divine knowledge. You know, he can just be like, okay, I don't know where to go. Where do you think it's the right thing to do? Where is the right path to take? All of that. There's also, I do feel that this is very important because he got the Ace of Swords reversed, which kind of tells me that he may be struggling with getting that divine knowledge and that perspective from the higher realms. And when I mean higher realms, is just that bird-eyed view of his situation, you know, being able to see the bigger picture, being able to see beyond what's in front of him, and being able to see like, oh, maybe I can go around it, maybe I could totally avoid this because it's not the right path, you know, that kind of feeling. And the last card that we got for 10's reading is the Beaver Spirit, Lay a Solid Foundation, which is very important because this kind of goes with the be at home. Okay, let's talk about the beaver. So the beaver spirit is an animal that is able to put logs and block the waters from flowing in order to create their own home. That's what a beaver does. So with him, I feel that what's going on is that life is kind of trying to tell him that if he needs some time off to figure out how he feels, he can go ahead. Like, he can stop the flow of whatever is going through and figure it out, you know, kind of like have some time for himself to be able to lay a solid foundation, which kind of goes with that Four of Wands. The Four of, you know what I'm thinking of as well? The Tower card, which, yeah, we didn't get the Devil, so we couldn't highlight the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Wands, but I'm also thinking about the Tower card. The Tower card is a mirror kind of card in the tarot, and it's supposed to symbolize destroying whatever home building you're in so you can create a stronger foundation to build something on it that it will be a lot more stable and a lot better because of the solid foundation you have laid down. So this is kind of like when you're in a situation that ain't working for you, so then the domino effect happens and it gets completely destroyed. You get like complete detour, and it's supposed to help you like start over, you know, start from zero. And it's kind of like, okay, before we had to patch, you know, create patches to solve problems, but now that we have to rebuild it, we know how to fix those mistakes, or we know how not to make those mistakes again. So with 10, it's kind of like the same idea, is this whole thing of like the beaver spirit is helping him in building a stable place, a safe zone, you know, a time, just create time for him to get his ideas together, to organize his thoughts, and to stabilize himself and ground himself so that he can become a stronger individual, be his own temple, his own home, being his own safe place in order to move forward. Because, you know, it's all those times like when you are doing so well for yourself, like the whole world could be, you know, crashing and burning, but you are untouchable because you're doing so well for yourself. Like, the whole world can be shaking, but since you're doing your job of like healing yourself and focusing on yourself, then it's easier to be like, okay, to like separate yourself from the external problems, right? It's not always easy, because let's say you're at home and your family is going through a rough time, and you really care about them in such a way that you start getting affected by the stuff that they're worrying about, then yeah, that creates some difficulties. But in his case, it does feel that life is kind of like, okay, you're in a stressful environment filled with pressure that's holding you back. You know, rely on maybe the imagery of birds, because we have 3 birds. So maybe, you know, life is telling him, like, when you see birds, it's a sign of freedom, expansion, and guidance. I think that's kind of like the main 3 things that he can get away from this. Let me see, anything else? Well, the other thing that I got with the Weaver card is that life, or his spirit team, can like help him find some time for himself whenever he needs it. So he needs some time to cool down from some stressful situation. Life can help him get that time, or help him figure out how to center himself again, or create a temporary safe zone for him to put himself back together. So I do feel that that's kind of what the Beaver spirit is also saying. Like, he's not alone. There's guidance for him to find peace and be successful and happy. There is guidance for him to feel at home, which therefore will help him overcome any problem he encounters. And yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting with his healing messages. It seems to be like this is Spirit's plan in how to help 10. But yeah, we had a very consistent message with 10's reading in his love life, in his career, and in his current energy. We saw a lot of Sagittarius, a lot of balancing energies, and trying to get out of this harmonious environment. We also saw a lot of putting down his walls and fighting through his fears to figure them out as well. And you know, we had the whole thing of like, when I was talking about 10 has his walls up and he's on guard and he's on his defensive high security environment, my phone just stopped recording, the battery died out. You know, that could have been my fault, but what a coincidence, don't you think? Or I think not. It's a sign. Anyway, I'm sounding kind of crazy, but I'll leave that there. I hope you guys found this fun and entertaining. I'm slowly trying to ground myself from this energy, because it was very fun to read for 10, but I have to be completely honest with you guys. I felt like I talked forever, and funnily enough, I'm not that tired. Like, 10's energy was not exhausting. It wasn't overwhelming in the way that I'm like, oh, I'm tired. And you know how I mentioned that I ate a stew, that I was like, my body's gonna digest it, I'm gonna get tired. I did not get tired. Not at all. Okay, who knows? Maybe when I stop recording, I'll be like, flop. I don't know. But I do have to say that 10 has a very good energy, I guess. And what I mean by that is that I don't feel good, nor do I feel bad. It was just very interesting to read for him. It just, you know, it felt like, you know, I was just like, so how's it going? Oh, this is how it's going? Great. Let's talk about it. That's kind of how it felt. I do feel that he is slowly, like, it's like he's going through a rough patch in his environment, but it's not bad enough to affect him yet. So he's still happy with his career, he's still motivated, he's still inspired, and he's still working very hard, a very hardworking person. 10 is that person. And yeah, in his love life, there's still like this huge wall of, you know, overcome all of this. It's kind of like, overcome these challenges and you can unlock this door. That's kind of what it feels like, right? So he's so concentrated on his career, his success, his projects, that he does not have the time for love, nor does he has a headspace for it. Like, is he dating and stuff? I don't know. But if he wants like the real-ish deal, like something more serious, more stable, or maybe for him to even start, he definitely has to unlock some of the internal issues he has. Internal insatisfactions, let's call them like that. Like, you know, he's focusing on his career, so, you know, that's what he's doing, and that's good, that's fine. So yeah, I will leave that there. Thank you so much for everyone that watched this video, especially if you watched through the whole thing. That, you know, I do feel this one's gonna be quite a lengthy video. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you so much for your love and support. I am very grateful for all of the little things that you do and all of the big things that you do. And yeah, send some love to Ten and some support, and continue loving him, because he seems to be doing great, but he may be a little bit too harsh on himself sometimes. So send him some love, some positivity, you know, send him his way. And yeah, I'm thinking, is there anything else I want to say? No, I don't think so. Well, see you next time, whenever that is, however that is, and love and healing from my part to you. Thank you so much for watching, and see you on the next one. Bye. I can hear it falling. Loving the way you wanna talk. Anyway, enough.